Bitcoin makes a harsh move to the downside, taking altcoins and cryptocurrency markets along for the ride. What do the hours ahead have in store for Bitcoin price? And better question, what does this mean for the state of the bull market? What is up, everyone? Welcome to Crypto Capital Venture. Hit that subscribe, that like, turn the notification bells on for the very best Bitcoin technical analysis. I do a video pretty much every day. Let's jump into the hourly chart on Bitcoin. There it is, like 11, 12% move thus far. And I mean, if you think about it, this happens all the time. If you have got some altcoins along for the ride, probably a little bit more volatile than 11% to the downside. Start zooming out though, Bitcoin does this all the time. This was the other day on the hourly chart, 15% to the downside. Zoom out a little bit more and you just see, wow, the volatility of Bitcoin is just, it's everywhere. It is everywhere. And I want to talk about these short-term charts. I want to talk about the consolidation that Bitcoin is doing right now. I want to talk about patterns in play, all that good stuff. But we have to start on the zoomed out charts. We have to. If you're new to this channel, this YouTube channel, this is the Fibonacci retracement, the bull market high of 2017 to the bear market low 2018. You have the bull market doors. Bitcoin works its way back up to the bull market doors. We've entered the bull market in November, just about November area, and we've just been cruising along for the ride in this bull market with consolidation along the way. We are in a major consolidation right now. It is so important. And if you zoom out, you can go look at the last cycle, Bitcoin making a very similar move through the bull market doors, consolidating actually a little bit more often than Bitcoin has thus far. Bitcoin, the velocity of Bitcoin has been insane lately. That's what I talked about, I think, in a video yesterday on this YouTube channel. But nonetheless, we are still looking for consolidation on this weekly chart. It is so important for Bitcoin. You start looking at the momentum of Bitcoin. We need these cooling off areas on this RSI. They happened many times in the last bull market. We need them to happen many times in this bull market. If you want that $100,000 Bitcoin, you have to deal with these dips. And so far, this dip is not even that bad. I think a month ago at this time, Bitcoin was at like $40,000. I think. Right now, it's $46,000. Now, I want to zoom in a little bit more, but still zoomed out, and I want to talk about the daily chart real quick and take a quick look at this clip from January 9th. We talk about so often Bitcoin getting overextended from the 50-day moving average. Currently, 72% or so overextended from the 50-day moving average. Now, January 9th, this wasn't that long ago, it was 70% or so overextended from the daily moving average. So here's January 9th. There's the move, 70-some% overextended from this blue line. Now, why was I talking about it in that video then? Because when Bitcoin gets overextended from the 50-day moving average, you have to start being a little concerned. When any cryptocurrency gets overextended, some of these altcoins getting crazy overextended on the 50-day moving average, you always want to see Bitcoin get pulled back to that area. And that's what I was talking about in that video. I had the histogram up. I always like talking about this area kind of like an ocean. For me, the way my mind works, we got that dolphin just hopping in and out of the ocean. And that's how I picture it. That's how I envision it. This is what I anticipate. Bitcoin getting pulled back in to that ocean, really like gravity. And so here we were again, most recently, February 21st, 22nd, again, very overextended from the 50-day moving average. Not as overextended, but still overextended by right around 40 to 50%. That's a lot. When that happens, we usually talk about the 30% area, even the 20% area. When we start getting up here, you have to look for consolidation. And just to note, the same thing happened in the last bull market. Bitcoin getting pulled back to that area and quickly below that area before continuing to the upside. This is what bull markets are made of, everybody. I know it's volatile. I don't like dips. At the end of the day, when they happen and we look at the charts and Bitcoin does cool down and it's ready to make its next move up, I do like them. But when we're going through dips, I don't like them. I don't enjoy them. I'm not shorting Bitcoin. You know, maybe potentially buying Bitcoin in the dips. That's what we've been doing for years. But trust me, I like price going up just as much as you, but we have to understand why dips happen and understand that they're very good things. Now we can start diving into the 6 hour, and here's really what's been occurring from that swing high, that almost $60,000 area. Bitcoin's just been consolidating. We fell into this falling wedge that we've just talked about on this channel. We got the nice bounce, and this was not long ago. This was February 28th. We got to bounce and a nice break to the upside. We had a short consolidation pattern. I think I mentioned that move in yesterday's video briefly. And this move was not very convincing to me in terms of Bitcoin coming back down to that trend line to test for support. Now, a very similar move happened. This was back in the January dip. Bitcoin revisited after breaking a very similar falling wedge, revisited the trend line. This is way more convincing to me. So going back to our chart now, we talk about falling wedges. There's data that suggests, this is patternsite.com. I use a lot of this data. This is based off of 800 perfect trades, 62% throwback rate, and that's what we're watching now is for a throwback, meaning we get to break out of the trend line. We're looking for a throwback to the pattern itself, and this wasn't so convincing. And maybe that was a throwback, but we didn't exactly touch the trend line. And maybe we won't get a throwback. Maybe Bitcoin bounces soon. However, in my mind, I'm always looking for a revisit of the trend line. I'm more of a conservative, charting person, if that's what you want to call it. My technical analysis is way more conservative. I don't get overly hyped. If you watch my channel, you know that, and I'm always anticipating downside. Some people don't like that I talk about dips as much as I do, but it's just because they happen, and they also happen in bullish environments. Throwbacks can be very bullish. So right now, I'm not extremely bearish at all, but we always want to anticipate trend line touches right now, down in that $44,000 area. Interesting about that area is if you look at Bitcoin with a Fibonacci retracement on a midterm, we take that swing low on the 6 hour to our most previous swing high, and that surely is a swing high. And we start looking, well, Bitcoin is interacting with a very important support area, and we can price that out. It's a 618 lying right about 46,600 or so, and then we have a 786 down here right around 45,000. So true support, and what you want to do, or at least what I do, is we can get 6 hour candles kind of closing below this channel, but what you really want to look out for is how do the daily candles close? How do the daily candles interact with this area? If we start getting ugly daily candles below the $45,000 area, that's not going to be very bullish at all. We want to see ultimate support on the daily chart within this channel down to $45,000. But changing this back to a 6 hour chart, surely Bitcoin could wick below. We could touch this trend line. It could be a perfect looking throwback, ultimately looking like something like this, throwback, bounce off the apex, and then we're right back above support. That's what I'm looking out for. I don't know how it's going to play out. I can't sit here and tell you how it's going to play out. But right now, I'm not bearish. I'm not bullish. I'm long-term bullish. But on the short term, I'm just very neutral watching this area that Bitcoin is interacting with right now as I do this video. One of the main reasons I wanted to do this video is because we're interacting with this area now. I think it's a really good area to watch going into the next couple of days into this weekend. Going to the hourly chart, you can just see, again, there's all the volatility. That's fine. What will be really interesting to me, and this is just the way my mind works when I look at charts. There will probably be a lot of people that do technical analysis that don't agree with me at all with what I'm about to say. But when I just take a glance at this, to me, patterns are never perfect, right? Even this falling wedge here in January, not perfect. There's things about it that aren't perfect, perfectly symmetrical, all that stuff. This one, not perfect in ways, right? This touch, what's going on there, right? We question these things. But what I see here is a story being told, whether it's charted perfect or not, and that is the potential for an inverse head and shoulders. Inverse head and shoulders is a story being told. It's bears trying to bring down Bitcoin, the bulls stepping in to a neckline, the bears stepping in harder, bringing it for a new low, the bulls stepping in back to that neckline area, and then the bears stepping in again and failing to break this previous low, the head. We have a left shoulder in that story, a head, and then a right shoulder in that story. So I'm looking for kind of a right shoulder potential setup. If Bitcoin can get a bounce anywhere in this area of support that we just talked about, we might have a potential right shoulder, the neckline up here around 53,000, 52 to 53,000, breakout target well into the 60,000s. That could be the bullish case for Bitcoin, and it's in play. But right now, like I mentioned, I'm neutral. I want to see how the support plays out for Bitcoin. I want to see how how it interacts with the Fibonacci support area right now, 46,600 to 45,000. What is going to happen? You know, the last thing, trust me, I want support to hold. I don't want to wake up tomorrow morning and we're through the apex trading at $42,000. I don't want that. But if it happens, we'll be doing an update video on that move. But let's see. Let's see what happens at this support area. Let's see what happens at the trend line here of this falling wedge. It's something to watch tonight. Appreciate you cruising by. Hit the subscribe, hit the like. I'll see you in the next video. God bless.